generate ocean-wide tsunami, which will be at least as devastating as those that struck the Indian Ocean.
The vast amount of energy pumped into the ocean will create what one scientist has called a mega tsunami. Tsunami waves racing out in all directions. Computer predictions suggest they could even travel 4,000 miles toward the eastern seaboard of the United States, losing some, but not all of their power along the way.
That wave will travel all the way across the Atlantic Ocean to the east coast of North America. But the water itself won't move all the way across. The individual particles in the water will transmit the energy to one another. And we can demonstrate that quite nicely on a pool table here, where the energy from this first ball I'm going to hit is transmitted through all the others to the last one.
Just as energy moves from ball to ball, so the landslide energy transfers from water particle to water particle across the ocean. As the landslide's energy approaches the coast, it builds up into a massive wall of water. These deep reds and blues are computer predictions of waves 100 feet high and more.
The level of destruction is difficult to quantify. It is going to be enormous, there's no doubt about that. If people are still in the cities when the collapse occurs, you may be considering millions of casualties.
Scientists say gas pressures could build up in a future eruption and crack open the island along this fault line. They have traced the fault for at least 9 miles along the island ridge. And they believe the fault is so long that when it crepen, 500 billion tons of rock will slide thousands of feet down into the ocean.
So it's going to go during a future eruption, there's no doubt about that. The problem is eruptions occur some 20 years, sometimes every 200 years.
Bahashim Hawashai, Bahashim Harakakodash, Ma'amaf, double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and the elders. Shalom to you, Akim, Nakwatim, and children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. Yeah, I want to do a lesson on this Lapalma volcano. All right, over there near the Canary Islands. Now, something I noticed about it is not being really talked about. You know, it's just in the background, back burner. You get my point. You look on YouTube, they got it live, just watching it. But they're not making a big deal about it over here in Babylon. Now, me personally, I believe the elites have something to do with that, because they got different pictures from The Simpsons about the Canary Islands, about that Lapalma volcano. All right, that island being part of it being a chunk of it being grafted out. All right, at a perfect angle on the left bottom corner of the island, so it can drop billions of tons of rocks and asphalt into the ocean, which would cause super tsunamis that'll push out all the way to the east coast of America. Now, do I think that'll happen? No, I believe they can use this as a false flag. They can use this as a pretext for global warming, another lockdown, fear mongering, all right, fear tactics. So this could be another false flag that they could turn into something. Now, there's a video going around showing that they're hitting it with a shock wave or some type of energy weapon. And the ancient stone workers, Esau called themselves Masons. But you know what I mean, the ancient stone Masons, you get my point, they used to do some ancient practice of cutting the rock. They'd put a row of, if it's a giant rock, they'd put a row of holes in one line. One hole here, make a little bit of space, another hole, another hole, another hole. And that's basically like chipping the rock in half. It makes it weaker. You can make a precision cut line like that. All right, that's how a lot of the ancient stones were cut. Or they used water. All right, water blasting. But now, so now, I believe that, and there's videos out there to prove this, that it's an energy weapon being used, or missiles hit it, man, in a perfect line to make that crescent, that line inside the damn island. And if you go back to certain videos, they show where they plan on cutting that part of the island out to make it drift over here to America. Could be part of their plan, man. Could be a false flag. All right, to cause a shutdown on the East Coast of America. Now look what's happening on the West Coast. You got the hurricanes and shit. They like, yo, it's a bomb hurricane. Like, look at the terminology they're using. All right, and you got the container, the shipping container stuck out there at sea in the midst of that hurricane. All right, so yeah, man, they could use this as a false flag, but either way, it's the Lord's judgment that's coming upon this place. The scriptures say Yahweh is the king of terrors. All right, so let's get this real quick. Luke 21:25, and there shall be signs in the sun. And you just had a corona mass ejection, a major one that blasted right at the earth last week. I think it was last week or the week before. Then you had the major earth changes upon the earth, with the volcanoes, and you had the hurricanes popping back up. All right, that's what controls the weather. The Lord uses the sun to control the weather here in the troposphere on the earth. All right, but also he can use Esau to manipulate the weather, the prince of the power of the air, with their HAARP HAARP weapons. It says, and there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth, distress of nations. See, it's going to be effects out in heaven, and then it's going to be also chaos upon the earth. All right. With perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring, man. All right, and they talking about tsunamis. They talking about now you got Russia got that tsunami weapon. They got a weapon that can hit out in the ocean with a nuke, and they can send a wave to somebody's country, a tsunami. All right. It says men's heart failing them, so men's heart gonna fail them for the type of shit that's happening. You see volcanoes exploding, and giant rocks as big as Eiffel Tower falling into some damn lava, and they saying some giant tsunamis, 100 waves 100 feet tall, come crashing at the shores of America with radiation in it from the lava and shit, and all kind of poisons. Then you got the shipping containers out there at the sea. See how it works? Those shipping containers can get insurance from any damage done to them, man. All those companies. If you're looking for something or an item, it's out there that's on them damn ships right now. All right? So it says what? Men's heart failing them for fear, man, and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. For the power of heaven shall be shaken. All right, so that's it, man. It's happening. And there's a lot sci-fi type shit coming upon the earth. It says Nahum 1:5, the mountains quake at him, man. Excuse me. It says the mountains quake at him and the hills melt. All right, that's what we're witnessing. We're witnessing the hills melting. Just like these governments gonna fall too. But we're witnessing the hills melting. These are volcanoes. And the earth is burned at his presence. Yea, the world and all that dwell therein. All right. Who can stand before his indignation? And who can abide in his fierceness and the fierceness of his anger? And ultimately, these missiles, you kind of see that lava. Man, that's the type of power. Even more than that, the nuclear waste is going to bring. Nuclear fallout. All right, radiation, fire and brimstone, turning the earth into lava, into pitch. It says who can, so And his fury is poured out like fire, and the rocks are thrown down by him. So it says what? Yahweh is good, a stronghold in the day of trouble, and he knoweth them that trust him. So they say there's going to be trouble coming upon this place. You know, it could be a tsunami. You got people living on that damn island. The island can be cut in half. And there's no coincidence that is precision cut in the rock, in the island. Exactly where, if you look up The Simpsons and you look up Lapalma Volcano, and just some video game that's out where they show the Lapalma Volcano crashing or being cut in half, a chunk of it, and it falling and going towards the shores of America and wiping out the east coast of America with a tsunami in the video game. So yeah, man, this could be a false flag in the works, in the making. You know, a false flag could be either a real situation that they use or a created situation that they use, which is a real situation, or a fake situation where it's not happening at all, you know, and they're just using the media and propaganda to prop up their lies. But this right here is a real situation that they can use. All right. So we should be hearing about that this week or the next couple of weeks, man, because if that rock falls into the water, that's what they're waiting for that left side of that island to just break apart. And it's been breaking apart the past few days on schedule, and they got lives just watching it. You can tell that's Esau, man. They want to see what's happening. They want to see exactly what's going on with their operation. Or an event, all right? Because they got a big event coming up. And what we're seeing now with this whole mandate situation, et cetera, it's all a precursor for the big event. Whatever it is, you gotta look up Event 201. All right? This is something major. It's all an event. That's all this is. All right? It says, but with an overrunning flood, he will make an utter end of the place thereof, and darkness shall pursue his enemies. And that could happen, man. It's going to be tsunamis all over the damn place, especially when the missiles hit. All right, so yeah, man, that'd be the last thing they see is darkness. All right, I'll make this quick. This is Job 18:10. The snare is laid for him in the ground, and a trap for him in the way. So there's a snare, there's a trap for this place, America, for Esau, you know, for 2/3. It says, terrors shall make him afraid on every side, and shall drive him to his feet. So there's terrors, some terrifying shit happening on every side of this place, America right now, Babylon. All right, from the south, you got the migrants. From the west, you got the earthquakes and hurricanes and the shipment crisis, man-made. On the east coast, you got weather atrocities happening, flooding, killing, and a possible threat from a tsunami, 100-foot wave tsunami crashing against the east coast of America within a few days. Which I don't believe is going to happen, but I believe that that island is going to break apart possibly and fall into the water, and then anything can be used from that point. They can say, got to go on lockdown or evacuate, come down to Egypt for help. You know, tsunami heading for the east coast, have everybody on fear mode. It says, his strength shall be hunger bitten. What's like it? Terror shall make him afraid on every side, and shall drive him to his feet. So it's terrors, man. All right, man, do with this. 2 Ezra 14:16. For yet great evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter, man. So there's nothing but evils and bad things coming upon the earth. All right, so He's talking to the prophet Ezra, and it says, for look how much the world shall be weaker through age, man. So the world is becoming weak through age, over time, through the Esau ruling the world and destroying the earth. All right, with their damn technology. For look how much the world shall be weaker through age, so much more shall evils increase upon them that dwell therein. All right, so as the world got older, the people got more wicked and more inventions. All right, so the evils are going to be worse. You know, you mess with the sun, it's going to mess with the weather. You mess with the weather, it's going to mess with shit upon earth and cause all kind of freaky shit to happen, man. And terrorizing shit. Terror, frightening situations, man. Where they got the threat of a tsunami hitting this place and you just don't know it. The threat of China with their new hypersonic missiles that can hit America in a matter of minutes without detection. So there's terrorists popping up on this place from every side like pimples. All right, so with that, this is a quick wake-up lesson, man. At the water, anybody out there that's giving me advice on this damn microphone, I had to switch mics. I got another technical issue I'm dealing with, but I work through all this. How I keep it rocking. So with that, I'm going to say shalom.